if you're here, if you could show your video, please. It's just better for everybody if you do. If you're with us, please show your video if you can, please. William Wallace, Braveheart. Must get that all the time.
Yes, yes, I do a little bit.
The end of the movie, it wasn't looking too good for you, so I'm glad. Obviously, you're okay by the end.
Yeah, still survived. I
Are
missed
you
yesterday.
Scottish?
Yes, actually. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah. Yesterday I missed the online, and I looked for the video today. It wasn't there. Just day one was up. Yes.
Yeah, I haven't put the other one up yet. Sorry, I got a little,
Okay, no problem.
but it's going to be all available.
Great.
Yeah. Today I'll put both of them up there. Yeah. I was so busy working on the project. All right. Well, thanks for everybody for coming. I'll keep an eye on other people that are going to log in. So just a little review. This is calling it the Big Idea Super Week. And so my intention was to spend the whole week working on AI and everything that involves. And I just kind of have an intensive experience myself learning about things. And it's going great as far as I'm concerned, because it's really given me a focus. The other thing is that I've been building this Big BBS Super Hub, and primarily the main core component of it, which is the Big BBS Super Brain. So from now on, we'll just call it the Super Brain. Okay. And so yesterday we got that started. We made a very detailed prompt using ChatGPT and Claude, Anthropic Claude. And then we uploaded that prompt into an application called Lovable. And Lovable is a site where you can create all kinds of platforms and applications and kind of just about anything you'd want. So if you have a big idea and you think we should create a website or an app to do that thing, then you can use something like Lovable. There's other ones too, but I use Lovable. And you don't have to know how to be a programmer or any kind of techie person. As long as you have the goal, the AI will help you build it. All right. So that's basically what happened yesterday. I uploaded that and we got the first version on the screen before the end of the meeting. And then in the afternoon, I spent more time iterating that. So now we're actually at a point where it's starting to look pretty good. Okay. And Mark, you checked it out, right? What was your experience looking at that?
So I thought it was pretty amazing because I typed in my idea as you
Yeah,
suggested,
right.
and it came back and it prompted me with a number of questions.
Yeah.
And then when I answered the questions, it came back with answers to say, here's are the things that you should do. But
Uh-huh.
before you do that, let me clarify. Are you wanting to do this or are you wanting to do this? And
Yeah.
so then when I clarified, because part of
Mhm.
this, of course, is me learning how to query effectively,
Yeah.
it was actually teaching me how to query it effectively. So I
Uh-huh.
found that like
Okay.
really amazing. But then
Right.
what it did is it gave me a foundation to say, okay, before you do anything, now you have to go and just let's start with this. Let's do A, B, C, D first.
Yeah.
Then when you get done with that, come back to me and we'll move forward from there. So I just
Right.
my
Right.
mind was blown. I just couldn't
Okay,
believe it.
good. Okay.
Two
So what
comments on that were
okay.
a lot of the queries that came back. Interestingly, they
Yeah.
didn't recommend any of the tools that you were using, like Lovable or things of that. They recommended some other tools, which I
Well, that's
thought was
interesting.
interesting.
Well,
And the
there's a
second
lot of
thing,
credibility in that, isn't
yeah,
there?
yeah. And the second
Well,
thing
yeah.
was, I don't know if it was because of that or because
Mhm.
of this meeting, but now
Yeah.
all of a sudden in my social media feeds,
Yeah.
I'm getting advertisements for Synthesia, Anthropic, and Lovable. And I'm
Oh
like,
boy.
I wasn't even on social media yesterday until after this meeting. So how
Yeah,
all of
yeah.
a sudden are all of these advertisements for these products now showing up in my social media feed?
Well, I'm not sure it was the Big Idea Super Brain, but I wonder whether Siri's listening, and I don't know if you use Siri, but it's listening. I've had that happen to me. I don't know what the heck's going on with that. That's outside of my pay grade, maybe,
It's disturbing.
but yeah, well, it's sort of, but it's kind of giving you what you want to, right? It's something you're working on. So I'm going to show you where we're at with this. Okay, so let me just okay, double check here. All right. Okay, so I should be able to find that. Where does it go? Okay, here we go. All right. Okie dokie. So so as I say, so my project is to build this. Okay, this big BBS super hub, but right now working on one component. There's four components of it. This is the main component that I want to get done first, called the Big BBS Super Brain, the Super Brain, and I'm using Lovable to create it. Okay, and so I'm showing you this, of course, show you what I'm doing, and you can learn from that. But I'm also trying to get you to start thinking about, well, what is my AI business going to be? Okay, and one of the things that let me just share this. I just made something up here just to show you. Where is it? Right here. Okay, there we go. I just want to talk about that. So one of the things that I've been thinking about, this is like an aphorism. I'm calling it AI aphorisms. Um, New technology is not the disruptor; it's new business models. So we always think, oh, the internet came along, therefore a lot of people got disrupted. But it was actually the business models that were created because of the internet that disrupted people. Okay. So, and the reason why that's an important thing to bear in mind is that everybody, when the internet came along, got a website. So they got all caught up in the technology, right? So, Kodak had a website, Sears had a website, Blockbuster had a website, and so on, right? All the taxi companies had websites, but new business models came along because of this technology, and that's actually what disrupted them, right? Like the whole idea of Uber isn't really about the technology; it's about, it was a different business model for getting a taxi and running a taxi kind of taxi business, right? It was a whole different deal. You didn't have to own the taxis, for example. That was a different business model. So this is what we want to be thinking about is, well, what are the new business models that are possible with this new technology here? And that's what's going to emerge. So I'm just, trying to get ahead of that and think about, well, what are those business models, right? What are the business models that we can use? So the one that this is about, it's about two, but I'll just talk about one. There's kind of two merging together. Is that this is, I call it wisdom scaling. Okay, because what the internet is really good at, or sorry, the AI is really good at information and bringing you information and coming up with ideas and insights and so on. But it's not necessarily about wisdom. Wisdom is a human thing. So what I'm trying to do here is capture the wisdom of the humans using AI, and that we're going to scale the wisdom of all the people that use this platform. Okay. So the invitation to you will be that you can join this platform too. Okay. So you can go on here, share your wisdom. I'll show you how it works in a second. And be, if you want, just to help me out, just to be the guinea pig to see how this works. Okay. So I'm just going to show you that this is the actual application that made this platform. Okay. And over here is the actual platform. So it's loading. Hopefully it'll load now while I'm showing it to you. There we go. Okay, so this is the home page that is kind of a place where you'd keep going here. So there's buttons at the top. And bear in mind, I didn't do any coding or anything, okay? All I did was talk to Lovable, and it created this, okay? And then I just kept talking about, oh, I'd like this, I'd like that, for example. Like this thing here, like Super Brain activity, that was at the bottom of the screen before. I said, I think I'd like to have that at the top of the screen. And then I said, welcome back, Bill. Can you put the logo right beside there? And it stuck the logo right beside there. So it just kind of, okay, fine. And then it came back to me. Okay, I got the logo there, put that at the top. So I can just keep asking it to keep improving this. I can even ask it, or even ChatGPT or something, to look at the website and then ask it to say, you got any ideas to improve it? Right. And then give me a prompt to improve it. So the thing is, this is the worst version of this that will ever exist. Okay. And it'll just keep getting better. And last night, just before I was going to go to bed, I thought I was finally calming down. I was talking to my wife about this, and she thinks I'm a madman, really, I guess. But anyway, I said, but you can also do this with it. It was like, oh my God. So I didn't get to sleep till like midnight because I was thinking about that. But anyway, so this is the home page. And I've had 8 wisdom conversations with this platform so far. Okay. So I'll talk about what that means. And then what the AI does is that it's every time I go to the home page, it generates new wisdom nuggets for me based on what it knows about me and what wisdom is in the actual database right now. Now, the only wisdom that's in there is my own. I did the interview myself, so I'm the only one that's done the interview yet. But took me about half an hour. I just talked to the AI, asked me all these questions, and I basically gave it as much wisdom I could give about being an entrepreneur the last 40 years. And it's all in this database now. So these are tips for me, kind of coming from me. But the thing is, as more users put their wisdom in, this advice will just get more and more powerful. Okay. So imagine there's 1,000 users. Everyone's put their wisdom in it about being a business owner and all the things you've learned about that. And then you can access that wisdom and ask questions. And then it's proactively actually feeding you back tips on it for your business. So you'd go, okay, I want to check this out every day. What's going to be there. Okay. So what happens on here first is to give wisdom. So I'm just going to go there. And so there's 20 questions that you can answer. So I'm just going to start this conversation. I'm obviously not going to do the whole thing, but tell me about your entrepreneurial journey. What led you to start this business and what it's been the fine moment so far? But you can actually listen. So I set this up.
Tell me about your entrepreneurial journey. What led you to start this business and what have been the defining moments so far?
Yeah. So then I go down here. I can click on this little button here. And not sure what'll happen there. Maybe it'll work, but maybe it won't. Testing. Is that working? Maybe that's it. Yeah, okay, it's working. Just gave that error message for some reason. I started my business in 1989. It was a digital desktop publishing business. And I've gone through all kinds of iterations of my business since then. But it's always been about helping entrepreneurs. That's been the common thing. And it's been about marketing, innovation, and future technology. Okay, so that gets put in there. So the cool thing about this is better stop. The cool thing about this is that when you use it, you don't have to type because that might be hard to do. So anyway, so that gets put in there. And then another question comes up. Okay. So let's see if I get another question. Is it working? Oh, it's thinking about that maybe. All right, bad. Working perfectly yesterday. All right, but basically get the idea. We'll come back to that in a second. What's happened? Oh my goodness, it's not working. Oh, there we go. It's fascinating. That says it's fascinating that while technology iterations have changed since 1999, the core mission of helping entrepreneurs navigate the future is made the same. So that's next question.
It's fascinating that while the technology and iterations have changed since 1989, that core mission of helping entrepreneurs navigate the future has remained your North Star. What wisdom have you earned through time and experience that you couldn't have learned from a book or course?
So one thing, that part, the fact that it can talk to me, that's coming from ElevenLabs. So I don't know if you're familiar with that platform, but ElevenLabs is basically an audio speech, text to speech, speech to text platform. So it's kind of a sub application that's running in this. So I have an account on ElevenLabs. That's why this is able to do that. Okay, just give you some of the technical details here. All right. So anyway, so now I could do all the 20 questions, but now we get to the wisdom report. Let's go there. And so this will actually give you an analysis. I don't know if it's just going to give you an analysis of what I already just did. I don't know if it's going to be all the things that I've said. Yeah. So this is taking, all the things that I've said. So you can have multiple conversations with it, and it'll put that wisdom in there. So it's one thing, it's learning about you, but then it's also then learning all the other people that will be on here, right? So as you get what we're trying to do. So then when you want to seek wisdom, you go here, and I'll say, what are some time management tips that you can share to lower the stress of being an entrepreneur? So the thing to understand about this, just to clarify, is that it will access the general AI verse out there, but it's mostly going into this private wisdom archive. Okay, if you follow me there. So anyway, Super Brain advises that for the entrepreneur, stress is rarely caused by lack of time, but rather uncertainty, complexity, and weight of necessary commitments. Right. So adopt a flexible overhead lifestyle. So that is right out of my wisdom that I gave, because I said what you want to do is have as little fixed overhead as an entrepreneur. And if you have to have overhead, just have flexible entrepreneur overhead, which means that when you have a project or something that people are paying you for, you can then access overhead and pay for it, but you're making money every time you use that overhead. That's what a flexible overhead is. And it just makes things a lot less stressful, because fixed overhead is very stressful, right? So it's giving all this advice, right? And so when I go back to home again, so I can seek that advice anytime. Okay. So you really only have to give wisdom once if you want, but if you want to keep adding to it, then you're just putting your own advice in there. So that's actually useful even for yourself, right? So just go back to the home. See what it says now. It loads. Okay, so it started doing some thinking. So now it says I've done 9 things, and I still have that one wisdom conversation that is showing I've only answered 2 questions on the second question. So I want to continue that when I can. Okay, so I can go back there, and then I got some new wisdom nuggets. The Super Brain suggests that for a mature company pivoting to AI, the first 100 users should be treated as co-creators rather than as customers to ensure the platform solves real-world frictions rather than just showcasing technical novelty. All right. So I think that this is amazing, okay, because where are you going to get this kind of personalized advice, right? Like, it's like, this is advice for you that's based on your wisdom and everything it knows about you. And also, like, you can't really get that from ChatGPT, right? Like, you could get its general idea, and it can get to know you better. But if there's like 1,000 entrepreneurs that have built this knowledge base and growing, then it's going to be really, really powerful. So I'm really looking forward to using it. Okay. So now what I'd like to know is, what do you guys think about this? And you don't have to just say, oh, it's great or whatever, like that would be fine, but maybe you don't think that. But what who wants to go?
Bill, did we miss a link yesterday, or did I miss a link yesterday to this so that we could be your guinea pigs? I thought
I'm
I thought
going
I.
to give you that in a minute. I did give it to
Oh,
you,
okay. We didn't get it.
but I
Okay,
think I'm
that's
going to
cool.
change the link because I want to change the wording of the link. So we'll just do that in a second.
Okay.
So I'll show you. But thanks for asking that. Yeah. So,
But I thought, and the only thing I wondered is if, because remember, OpenAI ChatGPT had that thing where, oh, it's getting too much of its information from Reddit. But I guess in this case, it's okay because it is a niche community. Is that right?
well, this is the issue that we're addressing. Okay, is that the general AI is fine. It's like it's like got a bachelor's degree in everything, right? But this is like a PhD in on being an entrepreneur. This is all this information that's being put in here is not in the training data of a ChatGPT. Okay, so we're training an AI on our data as entrepreneurs. You follow me?
Yeah.
So this
Yeah,
is
actually,
this is the next level of AI.
yeah.
It's like, okay, general AI is fine, but it gives you general advice, general ideas. You know, this is to say, no, this is for entrepreneurs. Entrepreneurs are going to be part of this platform. We're all sharing our information. That's in a database, okay, that is
Yeah.
only accessible by this platform, okay? And the AI is using that data to give you the advice. Okay, do you follow
I
me?
think it's awesome. Last night I built my own using this, so Lovable,
Yeah,
and
right.
I because my ChatGPT, I didn't bother with Claude because all my history of the building condominium project, all the
Yeah.
work I did with you and the scorecard that came away
Oh, in
from
there.
those sessions,
Yeah.
the scorecard was a big part of it. And so over the past year, I've been talking to ChatGPT about my big idea for a while. So I think it
Yeah.
knew it enough.
Yeah.
The scorecard was really cool because that was the basis. And when I asked for the prompt for Lovable, it gave me the reasoning that, okay, your moat, it called it a moat. It said that the scorecard was a moat.
Yeah.
And to make sure that those questions were correct, and it would formulate the whole app using that as the cornerstone. And then it gave me context questions to plug in afterwards. So I think there's about 11 questions, which Lovable didn't get right at first. I noticed it only did 5 of them. I had to go back in and give the balance of the questions, and then my colors and logo and whatnot. But I think it was amazing. So now it's the same thing. People can go in and go, oh, how can I build community in my condo? And again, there's wisdom nuggets, I guess, I will get eventually as people answer these questions and take that scorecard. So awesome. Brilliant. Bill, thank you so much.
Yeah, great. Okay, so now we got a new domain for it. So I'm just going to see if I can go there and get that to open now. Not going to work now because of that. Let's see. The thing about this is it's so flexible, right? There we go. Okay, so now that's the actual domain. So I'm going to give you that. Although I'll send it to you as an email too. Don't work on it right now because that'll just distract you from what we're talking about. But if you can grab that link, open it on your browser, and then bookmark it for later, that would be fantastic. Okay. Now, the thing is that even today what I'm gonna do. Actually, okay, hang on. Before that, getting ahead of myself. Okay, Sunil, you have your hand up. And then Fred.
This is really, really awesome. I'm super impressed with it. In fact, I tried to do something similar, but honestly, I just haven't closed the loop on it. And my idea was I have like 30 or so pharma launches, and I wanted to build a sort of insights in launches as opposed to what we're calling wisdom here. I was calling insights into the launches. So one of the things that I could not resolve or at least I haven't given it enough time, and I would love to get your take on is if there is conflicting information, if there is 5 different approaches of solving a business issue, let's say on marketing or whatnot, then, and if there's different entrepreneurs suggesting something, then how the system kind of resolves the conflicting ideas. And my thought was whoever owns it, like it's Bill Bishop's core thinking, that kind of either, I don't want to call it just dominates it, but facilitates it or kind of channels it in some way. that it resolves. So I just wanted to get your thought on when there's a hodgepodge of on the same topic kind of thing, then we don't want to make a chaos. So how do we do it? And the second question is, I was just
well, let me answer that one.
You okay?
Okay. So so that's a very good, insightful question. I don't know necessarily how the AI will do that, but I think that's the whole point of the AI. This is where it's really good at it, because it's going to say, well, some people say this and some people say this, but in your case, you might want to consider this. Okay, so that's what I'm hoping it'll do, and it'll maybe just keep getting smarter and smarter about how it manages all of that, right? But that's the point, right? The issue we have that we're trying to address here is, one, we're all in a little silo, so we might get some little bit of wisdom from here and there, but the collective wisdom is another thing, right? So as more and more people put it in there, there starts to be certain things that there's a consensus about, right? Like there's certain patterns the AI will find, is that, you know, generally speaking, this is what most entrepreneurs, how they feel about that. Or, you know, where it's going to be useful is you're saying, thinking of getting into like this partnership with 3 different people. What do you think what I look for when doing that? Like, you know, and it'll come back and say, well, there's, you know, 10 people on our platform that have actually gone through that, and they talked about this, and this is what they said happened to them. So it's not necessarily going to tell you what to do, but it's going to say, this is what they've said about their experience with that and what to look out for and so on. So it's kind of like drills down, say 10 of these people now just got into a room with you and are going to give you advice on that particular topic. And, you know, like anything, if you had 10 people advising you, wouldn't get everyone to tell you the same thing. Right. So, yeah. I don't know. I think there's, I'm all into diversity. Okay.
Yeah.
Diversity.
No, that's very powerful.
Yes, please. Okay.
Yeah. No, that's very powerful. The 2 things that you said is, one is in your case, which is your context.
Yes.
And a second is like other people's analogous kind of examples in my similar situation.
Right.
So
that's
perfect.
what I'm hoping, you know. And the other thing is, I'm thinking that the AI will just get smarter and smarter how to manage all this too. So that's the other thing, is that this is looking ahead too, is saying, well, what's going to happen? I'll tell you a few things I think will happen with this later, but you got to be thinking, okay, I've got this version 1. That's like version 1 of the iPhone, right? Like now I got version 18 or something, or, you know, 16. It's let's think of the difference, but, you know, it started out version 1. Version 1 was pretty cool, right?
Yeah,
I loved it. Fred, I think we'll go with Fred next, and we'll go with David after that.
Right. Oh, thanks. So I went into Billy and to sign up for to be part of this, to answer the 20 questions. It asked me for 2 dates, 2 to 3 dates. I gave it, but I didn't get any response back from your bot to confirm those dates, nor was there an opportunity to link it directly to my calendar. So I first off,
I'm not sure, you were trying to make an appointment with me, or?
Yeah, I was trying to make an appointment with the bot so I could participate in the big brain, you know, the super brain, to answer those questions.
Oh, you don't have to make an appointment.
No,
you just do it anytime you want. You just go on there, and there's no appointment. It's there. It's 24 hours a day. It's just,
okay. So that's not clear, because I went in and it so there was a conversation with Billy AI, and it asked me when I wanted to have this conversation and pick a date, and I picked
okay. All right. So we just mixed our milk with our meat here. Okay, so hang on a second. Okay, so we have Billy AI. Okay. Yeah. That's just this thing I put on there. That's a crazy little thing. I'll show them again if some people haven't seen it. It's an interactive avatar on a landing page. That it doesn't have anything to do yet with the brain. Okay.
Okay.
Like it was talking out of school there or something. I don't know what it's saying.
Okay.
Who knows what it's saying? Okay. Like I don't know, but okay. So hopefully nothing bad. Okay. But it said, make an appointment. Okay. So
where do I
go to Billy AI about that? Okay. But I just sent you the link.
Okay.
To go on to the platform there.
Okay.
See that? Did you see it? Go back a little bit.
Yeah, a big
BBS Brain. Click on that.
Yeah.
And then just bring up that site where it says, you know, get started, whatever. And just bookmark it now. so that
Okay.
afterwards you can go on there.
Sure.
Forget Billy AI. He's going to have a place on this platform, but he's not
Okay.
there yet. Okay.
Well,
So
I asked the question.
yeah,
Thank you.
yeah. Okay. Well, that was interesting. Good. So yeah. Okay. So anyway, so let's David, what do you think? What do you got to share?
Well,
I'll go with David Chiang right now. Yeah.
Okay. I'm something of a skeptic
Okay.
because I don't believe in the wisdom of crowds
Yeah.
in the way that Siriaki does. And I have tons of examples of the crowd being wrong.
Oh, yeah.
But the other thing, the model of AI is conditional probability. So anybody who thinks that it thinks is not thinking. Because it's basically regression to the mean. And when you say, what's your wisdom? 100 people give you their wisdom. It comes back with an amalgam of trying to get it, fine tune it. And I've had examples of using perplexity and agentic and stuff like that over several years, where it'll just it's like a vomiting machine sometimes. And it comes this, that, I mean, I once used perplexity and it came up with like 100,000 words in about half a second. And it was impossible. It was impossible to digest it. But the thing is, it was all contradictory. It's like some people do this, some people do that. So if you boil it down and you look at regression to the mean, that's really what it's doing. And I don't think
maybe, I'm going to push back a little bit, but I would say it's all valid. Maybe what you're saying with perplexity and everything else. The reason why this is trying to be different, is it's like a project on ChatGPT. You put your documents into it, or a NotebookLM, for example, and you say, just access this data for giving me, feedback or whatever. Okay. So what we're trying to do actually is to get past the limitations of the general AI, which is just a dog's breakfast. I agree with you. Okay. And it isn't going to really give you as much detailed wisdom as it could. So this is an attempt at this point to try to address that problem that you're actually addressing there. Okay. So we'll see, and the thing is that all of these things have gotten better over time, especially what we learn more about how to do it. So the problem that you're expressing is the problem we're trying to address with this. I totally agree with you. That's the problem.
But I also think it has some disadvantages. And I think sometimes people put too much faith in what it's saying because it does hallucinate, but that's a different story.
Okay. You see, this is the point. That's the point. You're just talking to the general model. Okay. It might hallucinate. That's gotten better, by the way, over time. But this is meant to get past that as well, because we're saying just use the data of what these people have put in. Okay. Because I'm actually agreeing with you. And then we're trying to address that problem. As opposed to going, it's all bad and I'm not going to do anything. No, we're trying. This is version 1. We're going to keep working on it. We'll see what happens. If we don't do version 1, we'll never figure out how to get to version 2. Right? Okay. So that's the way we think here at the Big Idea Company. We look at problems as not, bad. We look at problems as an opportunity to say, how can we solve that problem? Right? So I totally agree with you that that's the problem. Now the question is, how do we solve that problem for our benefit? Okay, let's go to David Marinak.
Yeah, I was just going to add in there. I think we're all on the same page, Bill. Yeah. The important part, at least in my world, is I'm attempting to bring people in closer. And I know, to David's point, nothing here is going to be perfect, and we've got things are going to need to evolve. But from a first impression standpoint, to be able to at least have a conversation, or at least give somebody a reason to dig in further, where the wisdom scaling is kind of like, well, hold on one sec. Yeah, let me go in a little bit further. Whether that ends up being in the end an actual chat with a bot, so to speak, but really in essence, what I'm doing or want to do with the wisdom scaling side of things is just almost pre-qualify, get them in a little bit further, and then have a human conversation. So for for where we're at right now, I think it's just awesome. And I'm not trying to blow smoke at you, but it's
well, you know, the thing is too, is that's part of the point. Like it's we want to attract entrepreneurs. I want to attract entrepreneurs to my business, right? So this is a good promotion, right? To say, hey, try this out for any reasons you might want to try, just to see how AI works, or some new platform, or wisdom scaling, or whatever. But you know, somebody will try it, you know, I haven't met before, and I'll say, you know, listen, you know, Billy AI will be there, but he'll also say, well, if you want to have an appointment with Bill Bishop, click here, right? So that's to address Fred's issue with Billy AI. He was trying to do that, it just wasn't quite connected. So I go, that's where it's going. The other thing, let me just share that screen again. Brain, there we go. Let's go back here. So that when you go to that link, that's where you're going to go, and it says enter the super brain, right? So what I'm going to do is promote it on like LinkedIn or something. Maybe I'll even buy advertising this time. Like I'll buy some advertising, say, get me entrepreneurs in North America, tell, you know, we'll write up something catchy, and they'll click on it, try the super brain out, right? So they're in my world now. They give me their email address anyway. And they're trying it, right? So I've got them in my world. And then maybe some of them go, this is cool, I like it. Right? It won't be for everybody. That's the other thing. Here's another rule of this, all these things. Most of the things you're going to create are not for everybody. As a matter of fact, they're not for most people. Okay. So even if this is for entrepreneurs, okay, most entrepreneurs are not going to use this. Okay. Because they're going to go, I don't trust it. I don't like AI. You know, what's this? I just don't trust anything. I don't like the idea of it. What this brain thing? I don't know. They won't like it. But there's millions of entrepreneurs. So if I only get 1% of them, that's probably 100,000 or something. Okay. So that's a lot of people. So I don't worry about it whether it's for everybody. Okay. As a matter of fact, I make that a virtue of it. This is not for everybody. Not everybody will trust this. Not everybody believes in AI. Fine. I'm cool. Right. Not everybody's going to want to share their wisdom. I get it. Right. But what I see is it's a way in, right? And this is a much bigger vision than just this brain. Okay. Like it's a whole community. It's a community of people. Like it'll use connection scaling to connect people together. Say, hey, you two entrepreneurs, you should meet up, right? Because you could do a deal together or something, right? You could buy from each other, whatever. That'll do that.
Bill, if this was global, how would you segment it so entrepreneurial practices in Canada, say, would be different from in Australia or China or whatever? Like how would the big brain, the super brain, figure
maybe
out?
We could have a thing there that says, you know, where are you from? You know, what country you're from or whatever. I mean, that would be a good field to put in anyway, right? Like, where are you from? I'd like to know that. And then that would be interesting, because then the AI could say, you know what, we've got 1,000 people we've interviewed, and the people in Australia, this is how they think compared to the way that people feel in the States, for example.
Yeah.
How people feel in Europe, right? Like that's the thing. The more data you get, the more you can start to see patterns that otherwise would be impossible to see. And then that would just be interesting to learn. You're going to go do business in Australia. Tell me what's going on in Australia. Tell me what people and entrepreneurs in Australia think. You see how it's like infinite, right? Like there's so much you could, but the wisdom is the key, and to get that data in there. And the point too is it's a collective. Okay. Like, sure, you know, I guess I own this, but it's a collective, right? We're all helping each other. That's got to be the main principle of this. Like, why it's not for everyone is it's down here at collective wisdom, right? If you don't believe in sharing your wisdom and having collective at all, like that word collective scares the crap out of you, you know, I get it. So don't bother. Great, not for you, right? Don't be collective. Be a solo, you know, silo person. That's fine. Maybe that's good, works for you, right? But if you want to share and get the benefit of that, then this is for you. Okay, so enough said about that. But that the point principle here for all of you is whenever you create something new, not for everybody, and that's actually something you should say, not for everybody, because, and then explain that. And they go, oh yeah, but because for the people it is for, they'll go, yeah, no, I understand why it's for me, because I also know why it's not for other people. It's not that we're trying to keep anyone out. It's just, like I say, not everybody will want it, right? So it's just the virtue of that. And there's certain things that people have to values they have to be part of this. Otherwise it wouldn't work, whatever your thing is. Okay. So, but the other thing is that I go, okay, well, what else will happen? Well, what I think would happen is that we create a store here. Okay. And there's all these sub super brains. Okay. There's a sub super brain about marketing, or no, even about marketing communications, for example. Okay. So there's a super brain that's been gathering information about the best way to do marketing communications. And so no, you're going to put together a speech. Well, then you go to that brain to get the wisdom from that brain now. Okay. That is also collective, because everybody that put the information in there. And then it could say, okay, well, you're working on this. You might want to talk to Bob, who's a marketing communications person for entrepreneurs with a business your size. And he's in your state. He's in, Ohio, and maybe you want to connect with him because they're actually in the same town even. Right. And you go, yeah, okay. And he's actually been sharing his wisdom with this brain. So he's got some credibility with you. So this is a way for us to get people to go to even more specific brains to do even more specific things. Like, that was the idea I had just before I went to bed last night. And I went, uh-oh, I'm not going to sleep now. And I thought of that, and the thing is, this will all evolve. Like, the thing is, like I say, is that if you start something like this yourself, version 1, all you got to do is keep iterating it. You got a new idea, you tell, hey, can you do this now? Like, there was an idea of putting the person's location in there. So this afternoon, I'll say, I want to add that. So when you ask people who get their general information, ask them where they're from, and we'll put that in the database as well. And that'll be part of the information that we want, because we can see that could be useful in the future, to connect people together and so on, right? Like, this is a airport. I don't know if all of you have heard that term from me, but ultimately it's a platform. So it's an airport. So lots of people coming in and out, lots of resources coming in and out. And this is a central hub of that. That's why I ultimately call this whole thing the Big BBS Super Hub, right? Okay. So any other thoughts? Well, here, now what I want to know now. Here we go. Enough about me. Now you can tell me what you think of me. Okay, no, that's a joke. Who's got a big idea for AI right now? And something a little bigger than, oh, I want to use AI to write a letter or something, right? Or the point here is that we want to talk about big ideas, right? So you've got I want to build something big with this. If you want to learn about how to do little things with that, there's plenty of places you can find that out. But this is the point here, our group. So,
I'll just be brief because I don't want to hog, but this has just inspired me to go a little bit bigger and think, instead of the building condommunity program, this would be, say, the community collective. I like that word, collective.
Yeah.
And then it broadens it to, it could be apartments, it could be, anywhere where there's multi-residential living.
Yeah.
So that all those people can come together and share their experiences about community. And then I can input my expertise on what it takes, how to communicate to make a great community happen, tools you can use and all that stuff. So I can keep inputting my knowledge that I've learned, because it's a pretty unique niche that I have here. All the stuff I've learned over the past 10 years, I can pile right in there and then see how people actually use that to build community in their own. But it just went a bit bigger.
Yeah. Well,
so,
what
thanks.
I see this condominium thing is great, because every condominium has, a certain number of people in the condominium. Okay. So they're all live prospects kind of thing for something like this. And then you go to the condo board and you say, like, one thing we can do is we can create the super brain for the condo. Okay. And you say, and I'll set it up. So there'll be a website for that condo, and they go on there, and people can go on there and not just give suggestions, but, share anything they want to share about the condo building or whatever. And you start building a database of all those things. right? And then they can, the condo board and the people in the condo can access that and find out all kinds of things. Who knows, right? Like, there's all kinds of barbed wire there. I know that one. But that could be a really interesting marketing thing for you, at least initially, right? Say that we're creating a condo collective AI that we can build, you can have for your building. It's the future, and you can share things because it kind of fits in anyway with what you're doing, right? They want to communicate to their people in the building. That's why they have your video screens. But now you're saying, yeah, but what if we're all communicating with each other and an AI is running in the middle of it? And once again, it's like, if you don't want to participate, fine, because you don't. But a lot of people have really like radioactive with AI. Like, there's no doubt about it. Okay. So
big time, yeah.
Right. I think it's kind of like how people were hesitant to use an ATM machine when they came out, or were hesitant to give their credit card to a website. Like, at first that was like, I'm not going to give my credit card to a website. They're going to steal my credit card number and they're going to go do all kinds of things with it. Right. So I think like something like PayPal came along and made that seem a little more secure. Right. That's not 100%, but it's not too bad. Everybody does it now. We don't even think about it anymore. So always be thinking ahead. You might be way ahead right now, but that's okay. That's the best place to be, at least in your mind anyway. Michael Brooks, I think you're putting up your hand.
Hey, Bill. I've just want to say I've really enjoyed the last few days with this. And I'm working with a team, and we have a pretty cool idea that incorporates AI.
Okay.
Basically, this is how it stems. We are looking at systems philosophy, and I'll kind of give you the overview. Most AI today is either hyper rational, but essentially emotionally tone deaf, or it's emotionally fluent, but sometimes vague. And what I found is that we've integrated 4 different thinkers. And these 4 thinkers run the gamut from people who are quite old, like Aristotle, all the way to a lady called Elinor Ostrom. So where I'm at with this is that we're looking at how systems operate, whether they are relationships in business, relationships in partnerships in terms of marriage, relationships that students have with their schools. We can sort of dissect many different levels. And without getting too much into the weeds, we are literally zeroing in on the concept of it's not just what's the right answer, but what is the pressure coming from, who's carrying it, and what would a fair redesign look like? So these are critical paths that you can take.
Yeah.
And kind of interesting process.
So that's the project. What are you calling that whole thing? Have you got the name for it? Or?
We do have a name. It's called the Inside Atlas.
The Inside Atlas.
Yeah.
Okay, I love that. Okay.
Yeah, and as I said, the team, when we found out about you, were very excited to be a part of this, because what I think we've been able to do is use AI, but in a humane way.
Yeah.
And I'm fascinated to see where this is going to go. And I just really want to say thank you on behalf of the group here. I don't know if anybody's acknowledged this, but what you've put together here, Bill, is extraordinary. And it so aligns with, I think, was what the true power of the partnership of AI and humanity is, which is for humanity. It's for the betterment of the societies that we live in, as opposed to, coming to destroy and take jobs. I think what you have accomplished is extraordinary. And Bill for Prime Minister. I think that's a great
thank you.
So I don't want to take too much time, but honestly, we look forward to following up. The team that I'm working with is really excited by what you've built, and I think we can add a lot. I really do.
Cool. Okay. Well, that's great. Thank you. So I just wanted to bring up this model here, maybe to close off, and then we can have some final thoughts here. But this is the kind of approach that we're recommending, sort of a framework for making the most of AI. So at the center of it is to have a big idea. Okay. And in our mind, that what our definition of that is, it's something new, better, and different that takes everything to a much higher level that people can only get from you. Okay. And so the way to come up with that big idea, like, is one, think about who you really want to help here. Okay, so you might be working with lots of different kinds of people, but you say, okay, out of all those people, these are the kind of people that I'd like to build something for here for the future. So you zero in on somebody, right? So in my case, I used to have all kinds of different kinds of clients, like the government, associations, big corporations, right? And entrepreneurs. And then I realized I really just want to help entrepreneurs, okay? And then more specifically, ones that are forward thinking and ambitious. So that was my definition. And hang on, somebody's coming in here. So that's who I wanted to help, okay? So once you pick that type, the next thing is to realize that as a new factory thinker, okay, is that you can help them any way you want. It isn't about having a particular product or service or being in a particular industry. That's all old factory thinking, okay? It's just, I just want to help this person as many ways as I can. So you have this value hub attitude, which is, I'm just always trying to help them and come up with new ways to help them. I just want to be helpful. So I can go from, if I was selling hammers, I could then sell them screwdrivers, but then I could also sell them insurance, and then I could help them book a trip to go on a holiday. Like, you can be like Apple. Apple does, can do almost anything, right? And Google and Amazon and so on. So we have value hub. And then we zero in now, we say, okay, is there a problem that these people have that no one's helping them with? And what I've learned is that most problems are very well documented. One of my slogans I always say, the problem is well documented. We've talked about the problem 1,000,000 times. Okay, everybody just talks about the problem. What's the solution to the problem, right? So it's like, let's go to the second step. What's the solution to the problem? Because there's so many, and you can pick one and go, I'd like to try to solve that, right? That's it. That's the big idea process, okay? Who don't want to help? What's the big problem they have? No one's really helping them with. And then what's the really obvious solution? Now you go, well, how could I use AI to solve that problem? And then you can use the AI to help you figure out how to solve the problem, and then use the AI to build the AI solution to solve the problem, and use the AI to run the platform or whatever you created to provide the solution. Like, you could literally do all of it using AI. And that's the exciting part, just as I've shown today or this week. We're on Wednesday here, and I've already built a fully working platform to solve a problem for entrepreneurs starting on Monday. Now we're on Tuesday, right? So this is what's so cool about it. And if all you're doing is using it for helping your old business, then that's how you be disrupted. Because, like I say, it's not about the technology. Everybody applies the technology thing. That's the disruptors, the technology. No, it's the business model, the new business model that's created here. So wisdom scaling is a thought that this is what the business model is. So that's going to be disruptive, right? We could be disrupted to all kinds of things, which I don't think is a bad word. Really, actually, it just means you've created something better. But then again, the automate is to say, how can I use this to automate anything I'm doing already? Okay, so that just make your life better, do things faster, better, perhaps. So look at all the workflows you have and say, how could I do those better and faster and cheaper using AI? So maybe you free up half your time now because you got that automated, right? Most people will probably stop there. But if you big idea thinker, you go, now how do I innovate? What can I create new value in the world? How could I make money from this, right? You could create an app with Lovable and put it out there and sell it. You could be suddenly in the software as service business, just like that, like, my goodness. Especially if you have a very specific niche customer and you know them really well, that's your advantage. Because, other people say, say you work with construction companies or something, you build something for construction companies, they're going to be interested in it, right? And not everybody's going to be building something for construction companies. So that might be a focus. And then the last part, which a lot of people have mentioned here, is the humanate part. Okay. And that's the most important thing. Okay. Like, how is this going to make life better for everybody? And because I just go, okay, the problem is well documented. AI is going to make life worse for everybody. And it already, like, so many things already, right? Like, unbelievable, like fake this and fake that. This is a bad thing. Okay. Now, if you're a big idea thinker, you go, okay, there's all this fake video going out there, all this fake. Somebody give me this. What could be an idea for solving that? What could we do? You don't have to know how to do it yet, but what would you do? Anybody? All this fake stuff, what could you do? Well, you would create a system to identify fake, okay, call it out, and and have it on everybody's computer says this is fake. Even a voice comes up, you're watching something that's fake. Okay. You may not want it. You may want to look at it anyway, because who cares? It's fake. But if it's like some political thing or something, you go, it's fake. Right? An AI could do that. Get an AI to identify the fake, tell you it's fake. You can make $1 billion with that one. And just anybody want to take that one on? You can. But instead of just going, oh, it's a problem, right? It's like, oh, problems are opportunities. That's why I say problems are the greatest renewable resource we have, because every one of them represents a business opportunity, frankly, right? In some way. Okay. So, but anyway, make life better for customers, make life better for the people you work with, make your life better for your family, your community, and for yourself. And the core operating system here, which if you wanted to learn more about this, I suggest you read my book, The New Factory Thinker, is that AI is about helping you get a better result using less resources. That's what it's all about. Okay. So if you start thinking, I can use that for myself, I can get a better result using less resources, like less time, less effort, less money, less raw materials, right? I could get a better result with less of those things. Great. Like your navigator does that. It can help you get it from A to B in less time with less energy. It's trying to figure that out all the time, right? AI is purpose built for that. Okay. So then you go, okay, well, how could I do that for other people? You start thinking that way, it's a whole different world that we'll have eventually. Because we'll have a better world with using less resources, because the resources are finite. And I'm not just about physical resources, I'm talking about our time, attention, energy, physical energy, and so on, our money, right? It's all scarce. So if we can get more with less, then good, right? So that's a little sermon on the mount about AI. But I do believe that that's what will give us all an advantage here, is that we're not just getting, oh, look at ChatGPT or look at this and that. It's like, no, we have a different way of thinking about all of this, which is our advantage and what we can actually then share with other people. Okay. Because it's where we're getting screwed up in the world right now is people are screwed up. Their thinking is all cuckoo. Okay. And I'm not saying it's right or wrong. It's just that there's so many things going on right now. We're all going a little crazy. Okay. Because we don't know how to put it all together. So if we can have at least some model like this, that's about helping people, then I think we got something, a path forward that we can follow that won't just, we won't get just thrown off course every time the wind blows in the wrong direction, kind of thing. Okay. So that's why this framework, I think, is useful. So anybody have, like, just to finish, something you'd like to build, like some customer type and somebody you'd like to help, and maybe use AI to do that? Give me one, and then we'll go.
Well, Bill?
Yeah.
Right here.
Okay, Fred, give it to me, Fred.
Right on.
You're always good for this. You know what you're doing.
Right. So I've, my space that I'm in, and
Yeah.
it's off in the condominium industry. and I was doing balconies and terraces, and still do it as my olfactory business.
Yeah.
I've discovered that in a profound amount of chaos in it all as new people enter the fray here and attempt to do it. And I'm I really like your metaphor of the airport, actually, because I think it's a great organizing principle to look at. So really what I've come and I just want to say that I've realized that AI is really a productivity tool. It's a productivity enhancer that really creates the result for less money, less time, less everything. Okay,
Right.
And gives a greater apparent value in a very compressed period of time. So what I'm doing with the Garden Connections entity is actually we're creating an overarching entity and a governing architecture that owns, orchestrates, and monetizes all the interconnecting components. Okay.
Components of what?
The components of uh, helping people create a beautiful balcony and terrace. It's like the flagship experience and the proof engine.
Yeah.
Belvedere Living, beautiful life experience platform and marketplace.
Yeah.
There's the training certification enhancement for designers, renovation contractors, installers. And then the sort of the organizing element of the whole thing is this AI configurator and standards stack, which really deals with the intelligence, the governance, and the scalability of it. So I've been developing revenue models on this because I like to start with the end in mind and work backwards. I think the Lovable platform that you've introduced me to here, is going to be a great way for me to ask questions of this and find out really what that business model will be.
Excellent. I'll just add one thing there. I'm just going to send the link again for the Super Brain, just in case you didn't get that link. So to try it out. Okay. And that's where you'd really be helping me, just to go in there, try it, see what you think, and help me get us started. That's all I'm asking. And then just give me some feedback tomorrow or Friday when you're able to come back, because I really need your help on that. So hopefully you can do that for me. Now, Fred, here's another thing. So you brought up a good point. That all of us need to think about what is the real business that we're in. Okay. So back in the 1880s, if you had a candle factory, you'd think, oh, I make candles. So when electricity came along, you thought, well, I could use electricity to make candles, but you wouldn't have been thinking about light bulbs. Okay. You miss it because you forgot that you were in the lighting business. Why are people buying these candles? Okay, they need light here and there's no light. Okay. And they need to see at night. So you go, well, is there another way to provide light using electricity? You start thinking that way. Maybe you invent the light bulb or get in on it with Thomas Edison or whatever. So once you understand the real business that you're in, then you go, well, how can I use AI to provide that? Okay. So in your case, I think you're in the beautiful life business.
Yeah.
Okay. Which means that you're trying to make people's lives, let's say 100 times more beautiful, but in all the ways that you can imagine that, visually, their visual life, their lifestyle, everything about their life that make it more beautiful. So what I suggest you do is set up at least a project on ChatGPT to start with and say beautiful life, optimizer, and get the AI to keep working on all the ways that somebody could have a beautiful life, and using less resources. Okay. So help you have 100 times more beautiful life using less resources. If you get the AI to start thinking about that, then it'll just, over the next 5 years, will create the most amazing things, because it'll be like, this is how you create a beautiful life 100 times better. Who wouldn't want that one? I would want to be hooked up to that.
Yeah,
right?
absolutely.
And then so everything else you said, the pyramid under it, it's all great, but don't get lost in the stones of the pyramid. So the peak, beautiful life, AI, help me figure that out, right?
Well,
Figure it out, help me, great things to do that. and then run those things for me.
Right. Well, I've been going to past clients and current clients and asking them to, I have a structured way of asking them for testimonials.
Good.
And they give me some profound insights, I have to say.
Yeah.
And it comes back to how I have fundamentally changed their lifestyle, their living, their quality of their life. And I can't count the number of times that people said in some variations on the theme that you've actually helped me complete my beautiful life.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Because you've got that idea in their mind.
Yeah.
Right. So take it now further than testimonials.
Yeah.
Right. You could have an AI that could interview them, or you could interview them about, all the ways that they could have a more beautiful life, what they would want that to look like, and gather that up as data, right? That you want to get. Because if you start thinking, oh yeah, my business is about helping them have a more beautiful life, testimonials are great, right? Like that's important. But the information that you could get out of them about their life and everything is way more valuable than a testimonial.
Yes.
Right? Because that's something that can be an AI can use to figure out how to make everybody's life more beautiful.
So it becomes data for my own sort of super brain in a sense.
You got to have your super brain going here. So that their AI is fine. Whereas David was saying earlier, if you're just using ChatGPT, it's pretty generic what it's going to give you. Okay.
Yes.
But if you now have a data set of all the stuff that your clients have told you, not about you, about them, then that's something an AI can work with that could give you all kinds of very cool things, right? Very, very cool things. Right. So one way you could do that actually is just interview them yourself, get that video text, put that into a text file, put it into a NotebookLM, have like 100 of them in there. I mean, you can put in maybe 50. And then you can start to use that as a brain, right? As a way to find out what's going on. So that's the NotebookLM really, really helped me get my head around, oh, this is specialized data that then the AI can work with in a notebook, right? And it's just working with that. And so you can create a notebook on, project or notebook on NotebookLM about beautiful life, put these interviews in there. Could be amazing.
Yeah.
Feed it back to them. Really good promotion for everything you're doing too,
Yeah. Yeah.
And the other thing is that I really encourage everyone, as I said yesterday, whatever your company name is, create a sister company with the letters AI afterwards. So I have Big Idea Company, a Big Idea AI company, right? And say, yeah, we're building an AI company. And it's not like it may be just a twinkle in your eye right now, but that's fine. At least people can hear that you're on the ball. You're not dropping it. Right. So Garden Connections AI, Beautiful Life AI. I don't know. What do you want?
I've already got them.
Beautiful Life AI. Okay, let's go with Sue here. I think you got your hand up again. Got more to say?
Again, sorry.
No, it's good. I don't take it that way. I want to hear.
I just wanted to ask you a question about those wisdom nuggets. So when you were in Lovable, was that part of the script to tell it to give you your own, like another section with wisdom nuggets?
That was later on in my conversation with it. I thought we have this homepage, and then I had the idea. So, well, I would be good to go to the homepage and just get wisdom nuggets, So it's like advice for you that kind of keeps popping up. And then so I said, just, every time I go to the homepage, give me some new nuggets. Like that's why it takes a second to open up the homepage, because it's trying to churn and make the nuggets, right? And that way you can.
And the thing that the Lovable built,
I thought that was a good one.
Yeah, is it an app? I thought it was really good, but is it an app or is it a website? Like that's I made mine and I'm like, I still don't know what this is.
Well, it's an app that runs on the web.
Okay. So when they're clicking it, they're going to a website, which I think you can pay Lovable.
Yeah, so the website is hosted by Lovable, you see.
Yeah, you can pay to take that off and put your own domain, I think, right?
Yeah, right, you can, but it'll still be hosted on the Lovable server.
Yeah,
right, which makes it convenient. Although you can download all the code if you know what you're doing and run it on your own server.
On your own site. Okay, good to know.
If you want to.
Good to know.
So part of this will be for me at a certain point, I'll just download the code and keep it in a file. Just as an archive in case something happens with Lovable. At least I have the code. Because all it is
everybody can see those nuggets though, right? Everybody goes there can see that
they
now.
Get their own nuggets. They're getting their own nuggets.
Well, their own nuggets too. Okay, I didn't even get into that.
It's personalized to you. To your nuggets, not just everybody's.
Oh wow! Okay, wow.
Okay, you get it.
Totally missed the boat on that one.
Yeah,
okay.
About who you are, knows who you are and the business you're in and all that kind of thing, and then so it's going. Oh, there's Sue's coming on, and she's in the condo, TV screen condo immunity thing. Here's nuggets for her.
Okay.
Right now, you see, that's the thing.
Yeah.
Not just a generic thing for everybody. It's always for you. Maybe I should put that on there, like just to be clear. Personalized, wisdom.
Yeah.
For you.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Every time.
Cool. Thanks.
And the thing is too, is like you read. What I found is that I'm reading a book or I'm hearing about somebody talking or watching YouTube video. It's this one little thing that the person says that that's the whole deal, right? Oh, right. I should charge more for my thingy thing or whatever, right? And then that's a breakthrough, right? So you could get that wisdom nugget and have a breakthrough just by reading them, right? Not all of them are going to go, wow, but you're going to read one and go, right, that's what I should do, right? So, and nobody's saying you should just adopt every bit of wisdom that's thrown at you. It's like, you got to be your own agent. You have to have agency, but you go, I like people giving me advice and giving me their wisdom. So, and as I say, if you want to participate in this, the more we participate in this, the more valuable and useful that wisdom becomes because we're all putting it in there, right? So if we have 1,000 people that put in their wisdom, think about how useful those nuggets will be, for example. And then you can go to seek wisdom, right? Where that is, and you can ask a question specifically, right? Some specific question, and it will try to advise you based on. So basically, it's like if there was 1,000 people in the platform, and then you ask the question, it's like 1,000 advisors are thinking about the answer for you. It's like you have an advisory board of 1,000 people. You get it? That's why today, what I'm going to do for tomorrow, actually, we won't have a meeting tomorrow, unfortunately, on Friday, is I'm going to create all the interactive videos and so on that will be inside that app. All right. So when you go on there, it now won't just be static. It'll be like there'll be a video with me, human being, and I'm going to have a Billy AI avatar that will be the other party, and we'll take turns hosting it. But ultimately, Billy AI might just take it over. I don't know. We'll see. That's what I'm hoping. So that will be the next thing. So I'm going to show you how to make all these videos and stuff on Friday. You come back, how that's done, and how you can create interactive avatars and things like that. Okay, the Billy AI avatar. Nobody saw that. Let me get that one up. Just go here for a second. Website Billy AI. What happened to Billy AI? It was on there. Billy AI /Billy AI. There it is. Where'd he go? Okay, here, let me just share that. Let's see what happens here. Let's see how Billy AI is doing. It's already led Fred astray, but that's okay. Where are we? Where's that? Where's that little guy? There he is. Okay, so yeah, little home page there. Let me just give you that link so you can use it. Well, another one. You can just pull that up and bookmark it for later reference. But here we have Billy AI. And so this is an interactive avatar, okay?
Hi there. I'm Billy AI, Bill Bishop's AI avatar for the Big Idea AI Super Week. You can ask me questions about AI in general, the Big BBS Super Hub, and wisdom scaling. What would you like to know? Hi there. I'm Billy AI.
Okay, stop
Bill
talking
Bishop's
for a second.
AI avatar for the Big
How do I get him to
AI
stop?
Super Week.
Okay, we go. And leave a message. Okay. So what is the 3 benefits of the Big BBS Super Brain? To say, oh, it's about thinking about it.
Hey, I'm Billy AI. The Big BBS Super Brain delivers 3 standout benefits. First, it turns lived entrepreneurial experience into structured, reusable guidance. So you get patterns and trade-offs instead of generic tips. Second, it adapts continuously, updating confidence levels and surfacing what works for your stage and context as new wisdom flows in. Third, it powers everything in the hub: coaching, next level plans, partner matching, and community. So decisions are grounded in real outcomes, not theory.
I don't know. It just blows me away every day. It's like, so what I'm going to do is take that interactive avatar and embed it in, hopefully, inside the Super Brain as well. So you have a question, you go to Billy AI, and Billy AI can guide you through the platform. What do you think? Be kind of interesting. We'll see what happens. We're pushing the envelope. It's fun. Hey, Sally, have you got anything you want to share? I see that you've been showing quite a bit of interest.
Yeah, I have been. Thank you, Bill. We've talked in the past. I think this is a great platform to start to do this, and we are working on an AI project. And this give me a lot of ideas, and I like your Billy AI avatar.
Kind of funny. So so can you share a little bit, but don't give anything away, I guess, but what your AI project is?
It's already been shared. I'm working with Michael, who shared what he was talking about. We're part of the team.
Oh,
so,
I see. Okay, you're on the same group.
We're on the same team. So we're working. We're underway with that. So this has been perfect timing to help us kind of clean up some of the rough edges and bring it into the next level.
Oh, that's good. Where are you guys located?
He's in Ontario. I'm in Nova Scotia.
Okay, right, but in Canada, right?
Yes. Yeah.
All right, great. All right. Okay, so I think we're gonna call it there. Okay, and so the next meeting will be on Friday at 11 a.m. But I will be sending out a couple emails as well with videos of these meetings, and if there's any thing I can send out tomorrow, maybe as a video, I will send that out. Okay, it's just that I'm not able to do tomorrow. Our life got more complicated because we got this rescue dog. We have a dog already, so we got this other dog, and it's not so much that the rescue dog's a problem. It's just now we have 2 dogs, and it's like, I don't know. I need an AI to figure that one out, I think. It's the 2 dog problem. God knows we got 3. I don't know what to do. We're having triplets. All right. Well, anyway, thanks everybody for coming and for all your contributions. And like I say, please check out the Big BBS Brain. And if you can do the interview, that would be the most useful thing. So you can share your wisdom, and we can get that wisdom at the archive even bigger. All righty.
Great. Thanks, Bill.
Thanks, everybody.
Okay.
Thanks.
Bye.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye-bye.